Wife posted on Gone Wild, and now she's having an internet affair. My wife and I have been together for 15 years. We have 3 kids, and overall, things are pretty good. A few weeks ago, we started talking about her posting nude images on Reddit. She's a beautiful woman, and wanted a bit of anonymous sexual attention. And honestly, the idea of it was a huge turn-on for me. So, after thinking and talking about it, we agreed to try it out. We laid out base rules, and she swore she would be 100% transparent and honest with me. Great! Well, she posted a few images, and it kind of blew up. She got hundreds of messages and upvotes. We stayed up most of the night, corresponding with people and having a great time. We had sex that night, and it was honestly some of the best we'd ever had. Such a massive turn-on for the both of us. But things kind of turned south when a particularly handsome man sent her a chat request on the chat app Kik. Right from the beginning, I could tell she was turned on by what he was saying and the images he was sending her. I had no problem with this. It was kind of to the point. A few days later, I asked her if she was still communicating with anyone, and she said no. Okay, I thought, no problem. Then, a few hours later, I walked into our bathroom and caught her taking a photo of her boobs. She instantly got embarrassed, flustered, and quickly made up a story that she was just taking a photo for herself, no one else. I thought it seemed suspicious, so later in the day, I brought it up and asked her to be 100% honest with me. She doubled down on the story. Fine, no big deal. We ended up having a normal night, and I went to bed around 10. For some reason, I woke up about 2 a.m., and my wife was awake, texting on Kik. She didn't notice that I woke up. I pretended to be asleep and watched her send messages to him that included images. My heart sank through the floor. After thinking about it, I wanted to give my wife an opportunity to tell me the truth. So the next day, I asked her again if she had been messaging anybody. She said straight up no, and that she wasn't interested in talking to anyone. So at this point, I was obviously extremely suspicious. Later, while she was in the shower, I looked through her phone. I saw the conversation, but most of the messages had been deleted. None of the images I saw her send the night before were there. I was torn on bringing this up to her, but eventually that night, I decided to come clean. Initially, she lied and said she wasn't talking to anyone. Then I brought up the fact that I looked through her phone and saw missing messages. And after an hour or so talking about it, she finally admitted to sending him multiple images and even one including her face. A big no-no on our agreement. She said she got swept up and started to get feelings for this guy, and he manipulated her into sending images. She said she was embarrassed and felt guilty about how she felt about him, so she couldn't be honest with me as she thought it would hurt me too much. I should probably give some background on us. My wife and I have had a lot of trust issues in our relationship. She's cheated on me once, and I would often find her communicating with ex-boyfriends. Every time I would confront her, she would lie until I could definitively prove what she had done. Then she would break down and admit everything. But this was all years ago, and she's been perceivably straightforward and honest with me for a long time. We've both grown up a lot, and I felt like we were in a good spot, and that I could trust her to do something like this. I guess I was wrong. That night, she messaged the guy on Kik and said that she could no longer talk to him and deleted the app. She also deleted her Reddit account. She swore that she would never do something like this again, that she wants to keep our marriage and our family together. I'm torn on what to do. It would be one thing if this was the first offense, but unfortunately, it's not. So, obviously I'm devastated. Part of me wants to just hunker down and stay together for the kids, become distant and unattached. To be in a loveless marriage sounds terrible. I just don't know what to do. Let's get some thoughts from the community to see what he should do. Please Oh Please says, there has to be consequences for her lack of consideration. Would you entertain asking her to leave the house so she understands what's at risk and to give you time to consider if you want to try and reconcile? You didn't do anything wrong here, but you should have recognized the perils of the scenario you agreed to. At the very least, ask for a post-nuptial agreement to ensure there are strong clauses related to any future emotional affairs or physical affairs. She needs her world shaken so she can consider what she has to lose. I'm sorry this is happening to you and wish you well navigating the challenges ahead. Desert Rat 1000 gives us our next comment. Let me see. You already have trust issues, she's cheated before, and then you decide she can post attention-getting nudes where you can actually chat with people that are viewing them? What part of this scenario seemed to be a good idea? Of course, hindsight is 20/20. Some more trust gone, but you at least enable the situation, so it's hard to put 100% fault on her. No advice here except considering the past issues, stay away from those things that might lead to this. That is, if you stay together. But considering this is twice that you know of, you might explore separate lives. Switch SCE to Ox says, sounds like the two of you swept the previous issues under the rug and let them lie dormant, only for them to rise up again as soon as you decided to play this game. Obviously, your wife has some major self-esteem, attention-seeking issues which have never been resolved. The fact that he manipulated her into sending images, including her face, is pretty comical. If he was blackmailing her at work, it might be defensible, but otherwise, she is just blame-shifting her issues onto this guy because she doesn't want to take ownership of the fact that she has got some big issues boiling under the surface. If you stay with her, I would advise that she get some therapy at some point to unpack her self-esteem issues and make sure that you are happy with the ownership that she takes of the issue. If she blame shifts, gaslights, lies like she did in the past, then you need to start dividing up your finances and get ready to live in a different house, as she will eventually cheat on you somehow because this issue hasn't been resolved. Next story, cheating husband while pregnant. Long story short, I found my husband with multiple phones, which was the way he was communicating with his witch. Every time he would get caught, he apologized, never showed me what was in the phone. He always said, it's just a friend, all we do is talk, that's it. I'm a mom, I work from home, cook, clean, wash, etc. Do everything for my kids. Yet, you want to talk to someone else? Sex is amazing, our conversation is the best. We love sports, share so many things in common. Like, what can possibly go wrong? I got pregnant because it was something we wanted for a very long time. Something we talked about. We found out we were expecting twins. We were both so excited and I was joyed. Also complete schooled. So I yet again find another phone he unblocked in front of me when he deleted everything. I saw the code he put and kept an eye out. I'm sure he mentioned he got caught with the phone again because the girl never called or messaged that phone. Because of the stress, naked pictures I found of her sending him my first trimester was non-stop bleeding and lost one of the babies. I went into depression and I couldn't help but blame him for it. I found a way to move on and get back to my life for my kids. I just couldn't believe all this was happening to me. Last week, I knew something wasn't right. Crap just wasn't adding up. Going out with his friends to drink occasionally was always normal until he was coming home later and was taking longer to get home. I looked for the phone everywhere as he was in the shower and found it in his car. I quickly ran inside, locked myself in the restroom. I was able to unlock the phone with the password I had seen. My heart dropped. I choked up in disbelief and began to cry. I couldn't believe what I was reading nor seeing. Saying I love you, I can't wait to be with you and see you. He was legit having an affair for the past 5 or 6 months. Seeing naked pictures of them in the hotels, pictures they've exchanged, reading how he was going to leave me when I had the baby. The worst part was, she got pregnant and had an abortion. I couldn't even gather myself up. Everything I knew was happening, I was seeing with my own eyes. The girl is 8 years younger. I have a big butt, and she went and had hers done. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, how I was going to confront him. Our kids were at school, and he was getting ready to go to work. He asked me where I was going. I told him I just couldn't do this, that I knew he was lying to me about her. He said, why? Why do you think that? Did you find the phone? I promise you it's nothing. I said I didn't even know you had the phone. I left and sent all pictures to myself, then sent it to him. I said, just friends? Get the F out of my house. He wouldn't stop calling and apologizing for what he did. There were no words because he knew he got caught and there was no denying what I had seen and what he had done. I managed to gather myself up and drive home. He apologized, kneeled and said he couldn't believe he hurt me this way, etc. That he wished I never saw anything I did. I messaged the other woman. I didn't get much out of her, but I left it clear that I would reach out to her husband and F her life up like she did with mine. I haven't done so. I really want to just walk away from all this. I've been with my husband for 16 years. I just don't know what to do. He has been different, of course. I tracked our phone and location, yet when he was with her, he would always turn it off. I feel like if he never got caught, would he have put an end to this or continue to go with it until I had the baby, then divorce me? Our first comment comes from Morodoros. He's shown you more than once that he's not trustworthy. You lost a baby because of the stress that he put you through, and he still didn't stop. He deserves no more chances. F him, F her, and her husband deserve to know as well. Solisi91 says, he is not sorry that he cheated or that he hurt you. He is sorry that he got caught, and he absolutely would have continued this relationship had you not figured it out. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he will do it again. He will just get better at lying and hiding his infidelity phones. The fact that he had a second phone shows you just how much he knew what he was doing. Do right by yourself and especially by your children. Do not stay with this man. Your children need to grow up seeing healthy relationships and positive self-worth. If you stay with him, the lesson you will be teaching your children is that it is okay for your partner to hurt you this badly. Don't set them up for failure. Throwaway Bear 61 has our last comment for the day. Let everyone know immediately and throw him out. Any forgiveness or even tolerance will only encourage his behavior. No reconciliation is or can be possible. Total ending and total no contact. Get your doctor to test you for STDs as well. You could have been given something that'll be harmful to the baby. I'm sorry for the loss of your marriage, but it's over.